everyone, I got some new molds. I'm trying this Melb Molds company. They sent this little care card and everything. So I wanted to see how they worked out, so I figured we'd come together. I thought this was a cool mold to do a bloom in, and I might try to do circles, maybe with lines through them. I don't know, whatever moves us when we start working. I've mixed up, how much did I mix up? Wasn't exactly sure how much to mix up for this mold. So I did about 7.5 ounces. And the temperature is 30 degrees Celsius or 86 Fahrenheit. I'm gonna put a little in my cup for my white, and I am using white today. And I'm gonna pour some in my mold. I am using craft resin. It's a 1-to-1 low viscosity resin, just a tad more. Very easy to use. I didn't do any bubble removing or anything, and look at how beautiful that resin is. I like it for that reason. If you do like clear candle holders or jars, it just works phenomenal. All right, so let's mix up our white. Today I'm using, and I have been using, Eye Candy Satori white. I've developed a fondness for it. The only thing about pastes is I can't stand those lids. And if you take it off, let me tell you, because I have lots of pastes where I've trashed that lid, it seeps out over the sides. Not a good look. All right. So I am just gonna dip my stick. You see the action I'm doing there. That's the other tricky thing about using pastes, is you're measuring as I dipped my stick. All right, let's give it a mix. I'm gonna go and put the lid back on so I don't make a mess. The other tricky thing about paste is that when you're dipping your stick in, it is kind of hard to get the rest off the bottom of your stick. And that's another little thing that drives me crazy. But I do like the way that it's been doing my blooms. I would say it's pretty close to cast and craft. Let's see how our color looks. Our color looks pretty good. Just debating whether I want it a little whiter. And the other problem is I have to get a whole new stick to add more. But you know what, I'm gonna do it because I want to make it a little bit wider, since I still haven't decided if I'm drawing the bloom. So here we go again, dip. Not quite as much this time. You don't want to put too much because then you'll get a blobby bloom. Too little, you get like a feathering bloom. There is an art to blooms, and you know what? It's different for everybody. I can do a bloom exactly like somebody else, or think I'm doing it exactly like somebody else, and it won't come out right. I do blooms good for me. And you'll figure out how to do them for you. All right, so for my inks today, I got these new colors from Octopus Fluids. I have plum and lime alcohol ink. And I'm gonna start with the plum. And I'm gonna do it right near the petal line, I think. Oops. And you know me, I'm always off center just a tad. Story of my life. Off kilter, for those of you who've watched my other videos. I say often that I'm off kilter. And it's really because I am. let's see how that's doing. My room is a little dark tonight and it's a little warm. It's 77 in here. It's been warming up all day, so I'm nice and toasty. I'm gonna give this, since I didn't do a super great job here, let's go ahead and just do a swirly. And maybe we'll swirl those on into it too. All right. Give it a swirly. All right, let's put the white in our piping bag. I'm still in my head, deep in my head, mulling how I want to do the bloom in this mold. All right, I'm gonna snip a little of the tip off. Now I'm gonna stand up so I can get a good look. Still don't have a clue. Let's trace the petals first, shall we? Oh, I put quite a big drop there. That's whenever you start out, you get that little drop. I was thinking I was going to do circles, but I'm concerned about how the petals will come out. Maybe we'll do now ovals. Oops. All right. Then let's do circles, shall we? And then let's firework it out. All right. Maybe we'll do all right. Now let's do our lines. Got to be careful because we don't want to touch the center. maybe just a little in. What do we think? I think that one's too far apart. So let's save that somehow. All right, I think that's it. I'm not going to do any bits to the center. We're going to see if that fireworks works out for us. And we're going to roll with that. I'm going to move the camera so you can get just a little closer. All right, we'll be back when it's time to back it. All right, we are back to back this. I'm not doing anything fancy, but I thought, we'll bring you back anyway to do this. I was looking at this and I like to point out all my mistakes to myself, but I think I got a blobby right there. We'll see. Once we put the back on, I had someone tell me that they're not blobbies, they're pearls. So I'm going to try to ignore the fact that that went blobby, but it does sort of mean to me that maybe my fireworks are gone blobby too. I don't know. We're going to back it with Purple Rain pigment paste from Resin. I already mixed my resin and I have extra resin because I'm also doing another project with it. I mix the resin first. I know a lot of people will skip steps and mix the resin while they're sorry, distracted, ADHD, something else. All right, so some people will mix the resin while they're adding their color. But mixing the resin is so important, and I like to make sure before I start mixing my color that my resin is right. All right, here's our resin, here's our pigment paste, and for this I want it to be super opaque. I haven't used this in a while, it's a little crunchy. I can just hit it with my heat gun if I wanted to loosen it up, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna get what I want on my stick. You can see it's still not very much because you don't need a lot. We're going to try that and see if it gets dark like I want it to. Give it a good mixeroo. I do want it to be somewhat transparent, and I thought I grabbed the bottle. I didn't think this Purple Rain was going to be the perfect color. I didn't think it was going to be transparent enough. And if you look, it's not, and it's a little bit bright. So 1 second, I thought I grabbed the bottle off the shelf. I have these drops from Art that I'm thinking would be a good fit with this mixture. So I'm going to add, I think, 6 drops. We have a good amount of resin here. Got to get it to go to the tip of the bottle first. Sometimes it likes to blow bubbles. All right, one more. All right. Now, let's hope I didn't make some weird color and it's going to do what I think it's going to do. That's Berry, by the way, from Arts. They're pigment drops. If you use a lot of those, they opaque things up, which I like. Oops. I got these new sticks. I gotta tell you, I went really cheap this time. Did you hear me just break it? They are super thin. It's like stirring with paper. All right, and in the stick's defense, I stir really hard. All right, so we've buried it up a bit. We've made it a bit more opaque, but I think we got to take it just a little bit further. So let's go ahead and do 5 drops. Let's do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Let's bury it up a little bit more. Make sure it's mixed in well without breaking our stick. I want to make sure it's mixed in really well so that I don't get stringy lines of color. All right. See, it's much more opaque. It's a little more buried than the glowing purple that it was. All right, now let's dump it in. Probably could use just a tad more. I don't want to overfill it, so I'm sort of just letting it walk there on its own. You do have to give it a bit for it to get where it needs to be. We can give it a little shove around. I did let this sit overnight, so it is hard, so I can touch it. All right. Still a little transparent, but I think that's fine. I'm just deciding, I think that's plenty in the mold. And then that's it for now. We'll be back to unmold it and see how it went. All right, we're back. I made this one at the same time. I actually like it. It's the smaller version of that mold I threw all my leftovers in. I think it came out pretty nice. Let's see what this one came out like. Still a little soft, so I have to go easy to not mess it up. Oh, did I tell you what I backed it with? Did we back it together? I can't even remember now. You know, it's all a blur. I think we did back it together. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. Okay, it's not so bad. There are some, it is a little blobbier than I like. And that's my fault. But I do like it. It's pretty. Wish these came out more like fireworks, but I still like it. It's very nice.